this is now going to be race number 2, the opening heat of the day for DRS100. And looking down on the grid, pole position will be driver number 1, 2, 3, Joe Sheppy. And alongside Joe on the front row of the grid, number 7, Dylan Reed. Row number 2, Thomas Davison in cart number 100. And you've got the number 4 cart of Nicky Taylor. And Nicky had a couple of problems yesterday. Hopefully those issues have been resolved. He's starting on the outside of row 2. Row 3, the first of our lady racers, Lily Jeffs in cart number 133. And alongside Lily on the front row is Alicia Palmowski. So an all-lady female third row of the grid. Then it is Rowan Campbell-Pillings in cart number 104. And on the outside of row 4, that's Vijay Ramlal. Now, Vijay Ramlal is he's raising money for the CRMO awareness, which is a condition that Vijay has, and he's raising a lot of awareness that through his racing, and we'll talk a little bit about that to Vijay later on. Row number 5, that sees Leon Frost in cart number 135, starting alongside the number 1 plate, Harry Graham. Harry Graham currently 4th in the championship, trying to defend his crown from 2018. Now, row number 6, the number 8 cart of Thomas Harvey in 11th place on the grid, and alongside Thomas in that Ayrton Senna inspired crash helmet design, that is Samuel Cunliffe in cart 6, starting from P12. Jack Rigg starts from the inside of row number 7 in cart 116. And then in the number 132 cart, that's Daniel Holdsworth starting on the outside of row number 7. Row number 8, that's number 101, Dylan Brierley. Dylan, he'll be starting 15th on the grid. Alongside Dylan, the number 127 cart of Charlie Humphreys. Row number 8. Now, this is where row number 9 rather. Cart 2, Callum Gunnings. We saw an onboard lap with him earlier on. He was our tour guide here at Shenington. He starts 17th in cart number 2. And George Whitehouse in cart number 114. Callum Gunning, the current championship leader, has got some work to do to get up the front of this heat. Then on 19th place in the grid, in cart number 9, it's Ben Gartside. And rounding out the top 20, the last of the non-rookie drivers, that is number 131, Justin Brouard. So, 8 drivers then on their black rookie plates, led by number 74, Philip Spray. Well, there's plenty of that out on the circuit when the carts get going. And Millie Hart, another of our lady drivers in cart 107. Number 128 is next. That is Oscar Walmsley-Jones. Alongside Oscar in 24th place, it's cart number 126, William Vincent. Number 103, Bryn Calder. Based in Scotland, part Welsh, lives in England with a dad from New Zealand, an international driver if ever there was one. And Henry Foote, who picked up 2 seconds from his lap times yesterday, he starts number 138 cart from 26th. Now here in cart number 137, Owen Johns. This is his first ever kart race. He has done some sim racing, he's done some rental karting, and this is the first time that both he and his family have been to a kart meeting. He had to get within the 110% rule to be allowed to race, but he did so yesterday. Very impressive. He starts at the back. He's got a couple of seconds to make up, and this will be a real test for him in the rain. And starting shotgun on the field, number 134, Cody Eustace. 28 drivers. It's going to be a very, very exciting race. We'll keep you up to date with how Owen Johns is getting on. And hopefully he'll be an inspiration to all those of you watching on the YouTube channel that have just done rental karting but really want to give proper karting a go. And I don't mean that to any disrespect to the rental karting world, but this is proper race karting. And Owen Johns and his family here, never been out in a kart before this weekend, and the officials and the team here at DRS Series have been working very hard to make sure that Owen is not only quick enough to race but safe enough to race, and he just managed to do that. Made up 6 seconds from where he started yesterday to where he finished. Here we go, out onto the circuit for the first time go the DRS 100 drivers. Sheppy in cart 1, 2, 3, Reed in cart number 7. You can still see all on wet tyres, and there was something just bouncing off Joe Sheppy car. Maybe that was a little bit of rubber pickup, because they did use these wet tyres yesterday, and of course some of the rubber that they pick up on the track when the carts get going, the tyres warm up a little bit, they can shed the balls of rubber that they picked up. Could have been what you saw coming off Sheppy's kart there at Stratford Hairpin. Now the drivers down at the back of the field, they won't be able to see where they are going almost because of the spray that the front runners kick up. So there's your starting. Sheppy and Reid on row number 1. Davison and Taylor, row 2. Jeffs and Palmowski, row 3. Campbell Pilling and Ramlal on row number 4. Frost and Graham on row 5. Harvey and Cunliffe on row 6. Rigg and Holdsworth, row 7. Brierley and Humphreys on row number 8. Row 9. Championship leader Callum Gunning and George Whitehouse. Then it's Gartside and Brouard, row 10. Spray and Hart, row 11. Walmsley Jones and Vincent, row number 12. And the final 2 rows, Calder and Foote, Johns and Eustace. 28 drivers, 8 minutes plus 1 lap. 1,018 metres of sodden but venerable and very well cultured, in karting terms, tarmac to master. Out of the Bruno chicane, you can see on the outside of your screen there the white, predominantly white crash helmet of Joe Sheppy, leading Dylan Reid, that almost British Racing green and gold liveried crash helmet. He's on the left hand side of your screen. On the outside of row number 1, it will be the outside where they get to turn number 1. Then the red and yellow flames of driver number 4, Nicky Taylor, starting 4th place in kart 4. They come out of the Wilkins complex onto Park Straight. Lights are red, lights are out, we're racing. It's a good start from the poleman Sheppy. Reid slots into 2nd place. Taylor gets a good start in 3rd, and Taylor looks to the inside at Cafe Corner for 2nd place. Nicky Taylor picks up P2, and 28 carts go in, 28 carts come out. Everybody safely through the first couple of corners. Nicky Taylor, who had some terrible problems yesterday. The brakes were in the wrong, the brake pedals were in the wrong place, the steering column was in the wrong place. Oh, there's a spin, half. That's Philip Spray getting caught up in the spray there. He gets sideways into Stratford, just about collects somebody else, but they both manage to bounce off each other and continue on. Now into the Bruno chicane. Cunliffe there getting a little bit wide going into the complex, and he scrambles out, but everybody, just about everybody, comes out of the chicane clearly, and there's a battle for the lead. Nicky Taylor up to the inside of Joe Sheppy. Sheppy tries to fight back, but Taylor closed the door at the end of lap number 1. Nicky Taylor, what a way to recover from an awful day yesterday. Ben Gartside gets a warning flag there for one incident, but Nicky Taylor saying yesterday he loves Shenington, he just wants to get the kart right. Well, it looks like it's pretty well sorted here at the moment as we head down towards Stratford Corner. Sheppy now in 2nd. Number 100, that is up into 3rd place. A great start there from Thomas Davison. Dylan Reid slips back to 4th. 5th is Palmowski. 6th is Ramlal. Then it's Cunliffe, Frost, Graham, Humphreys and Holdsworth. There's the number 104 kart going through your screen. That's Rowan Campbell Pilling, who ended his day with a promising time in practice. He was happy at the end of practice yesterday. So Campbell Pilling looking good as well here this morning in the wet conditions. There's number 105. The 125 kart of Alicia Palmowski. She's the best placed young lady in the championship. Alicia is currently, well, she's 14th in the championship at the moment, but had a very good result at Glenagorse last time out. Different lines being taken through Cafe Corner. Oh, there's the commentary position just at the top end of your screen. So looking down over the circuit and down at Stratford Hairpin, Sheppy hanging on to 2nd, Davison in 3rd, and it's Reid, Cunliffe, Palmowski. Nicky Taylor sets the new fastest lap, 50.710. The field of yellow flags waving at the Bruno chicane, and somebody I think must have spun off there as they go through the yellow flags, and it's the outside now goes Cunliffe. He's going to try and cut underneath Dylan Reid coming out of the Wilkins complex. He looks to the inside now as they head onto Park Straight, but Reid has just about got the momentum. Cunliffe can't slide out to the inside going into turn number 1. We've got 5.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go, and again Cunliffe has a look to the inside of Cafe Corner, but Reid taking that wider line. You can afford to do that in the rain, even though there's less grip, gives you more momentum. Sheppy now having to defend 2nd place into Stratford from Thomas Davison. Davison looks over his shoulders to see where how far Dylan Reed and Samuel Cunliffe are behind him. Here goes Cunliffe again into the Bruno chicane. This time he makes the move stick, I believe. As, oh, somebody, that's Joe Rigg. Jack Rigg, sorry, spinning down at Stratford in the number 116 cart. But Cunliffe has made it through. And Cunliffe in that is very easily inspired by it, of the yellow, green and black crash helmet design. Cunliffe now up into 4th position. He's got 4.5 minutes to set off and give chase to Davison, Sheppy and Taylor in front. Taylor 1.2 seconds in the lead. Out of Cafe Corner comes the 2nd and 3rd place battle. Then it's Cunliffe followed by Reed. Palmowski is 6th, Ramlal 7th, Graham 8th, Holdsworth 9th, Frost 10th. Looking down for championship leader Callum Gunning, he's still 19th, so Gunning must have had some sort of issue because that's where he started roughly, and he hasn't gained any positions yet. We'll see if he's starting to pick up the pace now. Best placed rookie in the field is William Vincent in 17th position. Henry Foote is 18th. Cody Eustace is next. That is from the back of the grid. Cody Eustace up to 20th place. Now Philip Spray has retired, and Owen Johns is still out there in 26th position, but he's certainly holding his own. As we're looking now at a battle further back through the field, that is the number 1 cart of Harry Graham. So Harry Graham in 8th place, and he's trying to pick off Vijay Ramlal and Alicia Palmowski in front of him. There goes number 136 cart of Vijay Ramlal. So Ramlal moving up, and there goes Graham also making a move. There's the 101 cart to the inside, that's Dylan Brierley. Dylan Brierley trying to pass the number 135 cart of Leon Frost. Wheel-to-wheel stuff there between the 135 and the 101. Frost and Brierley going into the Bruno chicane. We can see the abandoned cart of number 74, Philip Spray, on your screen there. So Spray, after that initial contact, the second corner rather, has retired from the race. And now we head down to the Wilkins complex on this lap number 7. On your screen, the number 8 cart of Thomas Harvey. So Thomas Harvey, who has fallen back from his starting position. He started 11th and he's down in 14th now. Justin Brouard right behind him in cart number 131. Out onto the, there's the championship leader on your screen, Harry Graham, defending from number 104, Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Graham up into 8th place. Campbell-Pilling just behind him. Ben Gartside side by side with the number 135 cart there of Leon Frost for 11th and 12th place. And Vijay Ramlal in 7th, trying to defend now against Harry Graham, going into Wilkins. Graham looks to the inside. Graham takes the position and moves into P number 7 and gives Ramlal the signal, come on, let's push. And Ramlal says, well, I've got 2 minutes to go, I'm going to try and repass you, me old chestnut. Into Cafe Corner. And up at the front now there's Owen Johns in cart number 137 going a lap down to the race leaders, and he's very sensibly staying out of the way. So Taylor leads by 1.7 seconds from Sheppy. Davison 3rd, then it's Cunliffe 4th, Reed 5th, Palmowski 6th. Behind Palmowski in cart number 1, coming across the screen now is Harry Graham, then it's Ramlal, Holdsworth, Brierley, Gartside, Frost, Humphreys, Vincent, Brouard, Harvey, Jeffs, Foote and Gunning. Still down in 19th place, so Callum Gunning not enjoying this wet weather whatsoever. Cody Eustace from the back of the grid, 28th place, up into P20. Graham still fending off the number 136 of Vijay Ramlal. This is the battle on your screen for 7th and 8th places with Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Now, Rowan Campbell-Pilling is on track in cart number 104, right behind this battle on screen, but obviously he's got a transponder issue because he's not coming up on our timing screens. There's Cunliffe in 4th place, chasing down Thomas Davison as they head up the straight towards the Bruno chicane. You can see there Cunliffe deviating from the racing line, so he's trying to cool the wet tyres down. You see drivers doing that for no apparent reason. Obviously the track is beginning to dry out in parts, and he is now trying to just cool the tyres down ever so slightly. 30 seconds to go into Wilkins. Palmowski in 6th position, coming under pressure now from Harry Graham. Graham across the line to complete lap number 9. They go on to the 10th lap. Palmowski has got just 0.3 of a second in hand over Graham. You can see there's the number 138 cart That's Henry Foote, and he is in front of Callum as your championship leader. Callum, oh, somebody's gone off. That'll pick up Callum Gunning one place. So Gunning tries to go on the outside of Foote coming out of Cafe Corner, and he makes that position up. And up in the front, there's a battle going on. That was Will Vincent and Charlie Humphreys scrapping away. So Gunning in cart number 2. He's passed Foote. Obviously something not right with the setup of that cart for Gunning to be so far down the order and not be able to recover from a poor grid position. Some of the other rookies going through your screen there. So we're on the last lap now. So this is the last lap for the race leader Nicky Taylor, whose lead is now 3 seconds over Joe Sheppy. And still Harry Graham trying to pass Alicia Palmowski into Cafe Corner. Palmowski at cart number 125. Black wetsuit, white crash helmet. Hanging on as we look at the number 100 cart. Davison chasing Sheppy. Cunliffe there in the number 6 cart. Big gap back to Dylan Reed. Then it's Palmowski and Graham. And Graham was looking at making a move as someone else looking to make a move. That's Will Vincent trying to go past Leon Frost. Well, William Vincent, that will pick him up 12th position. Oh, at the back of the pack there we can see a couple of drivers that have spun. Pick up those numbers a little bit later on, but Graham has made the move. Graham into Wilkins Complex makes the move. Nicky Taylor, meanwhile, what a win for Nicky Taylor in cart number 4. Joe Sheppy and Thomas Davison take 2nd and 3rd. Here's the battle for 5th, and the battle for 6th. Graham does it. He passes Palmowski in the last lap to take the win. Now, Rowan Campbell-Pilling on the road at least finished in 8th place, but he's obviously got a transponder issue, so it's Dylan Brierley coming home in 8th on our timing screens, then Ramlal, Holdsworth, Ben Gartside, Leon Frost, William Vincent, Justin Brouard, followed by Thomas Harvey and Charlie Humphreys, your top 16. Rigg, Foote, Whitehouse and Jeff. So Callum Gunning must have had a problem there. I think one of the drivers that we saw spinning down at Stratford here, it must have been Callum Gunning. He's crossed the line in 23rd position. And it was Callum Gunning and Cody Eustace that seemed to have come together, because they both dropped right down the order there right at the end. Lily Jeffs also losing ground there. She finishes 20th. But the only retirement was Philip Spray and Owen Johns. Okay, he finished a lap down. His best lap was a 56.07. But he finishes his very first kart race. But the winner, Nicky Taylor, as we look at the sky.